Tonight, we report on how the Sheriff's Office and Live Nation prepare for the Paradiso Music Festival and what was making all the noise on Soap Lake. What's going on in sports, Bob?
The action heated up at the Ephrata Raceway Park Saturday evening, and the Spuds play 500 ball at the Palouse Summer Series tournament over the weekend. Stick around and I'll tell you all about it. Here's a peek at our Weather Center forecast.
Hello everyone, I'm Chaselyn Rodriguez. Showers and thunderstorms continue around our area with below average temperatures. How long will this continue? I will have all the details for you coming up soon.
I'm Bethany Jenks. Stay tuned for all of this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
The State Department of Ecology is taking comments on 2 Microsoft data center permits. The data center wants to decrease the amount of water used in the cooling towers at its existing data center and plans to add 37 diesel generators and 32 cooling towers to a new facility. The proposed cooling system will use water from the city's industrial wastewater plant up to 100 times to do the same work. Because of the increased use, the amount of sodium particles in the water will be higher and more will be released in the air. Ecology stated the increased release of particles from the changes isn't enough to violate clean air requirements. The other project involves building on a 200-acre site purchased by the company last year. The expansion will include more backup generators with advanced filters on them. Ecology plans to hold a public hearing on the project at 5 p.m. on July 24th at the Quincy Community Center, located at 115 F Street Southwest. The Paradiso Music Festival is returning to the Gorge Amphitheater on June 27th and 28th, and the Grant County Sheriff's Office and Live Nation are preparing. The Sheriff's Office plans to add an additional 3 to 4 deputies per shift during the Electronic Dance Music Festival. In addition, the Sheriff's Office plans to increase the amount of undercover officers looking for illegal drugs at the venue. The move follows last year's concert that brought roughly 20,000 people to the venue. 23 of those people were arrested and 72 were treated at the Quincy Valley Medical Center. Along with the additional police, the security company used for the festival is training employees to recognize drug use and are instructed to alert law enforcement. A Live Nation executive told the Grant County Commissioners that emergency medical technicians will be at the amphitheater for the entire weekend. Soap Lake hosted their 2nd annual Del Red Pub Soap Lake Hydroplane Regatta this weekend. Reporter Bill Stevenson has the story.
The thunder of engines bounced across Soap Lake as 31 hydroplanes and 14 boats competed in the Del Red Pub Soap Lake Hydroplane Regatta. The American Powerboat Association handled organizing and running the races. Boats in different classifications ran 3 laps on the 5-mile-long course. Spectators lined Smokine Beach and the shores around Soap Lake to enjoy the racing. Hundreds of people came from around the Northwest to compete, each boat bringing with it a team of mechanics, drivers, supporters, and family. For one hydroplane owner from Spokane, the tradition of hydroplane racing on Soap Lake goes back to his grandfather.
My grandfather started coming here in the 1930s racing outboard hydroplanes. Well, I've had one all my life, a race boat. My grandpa started me when I was about 12 years old. But, now watching my son race my boat brings great pride to me.
His son, Josh Harnack, is now the driver of their hydroplane, Mr. Jigs. He's the 4th generation racing boats. He started when he was 16 racing boats with outboard motors. 15 years later, he set a world record in the hydroplane class for modified nationals with a speed of 117 miles per hour. When they got to Soap Lake, they hoped to go even faster.
The water is brackish, so it's kind of like being in the ocean, and the water's more stiffer, so your props have less slip.
With denser water helping the prop grip better, the hydroplane was moving fast for the Harnacks. On Sunday, Mr. Jigs was recorded going 120 miles per hour on Soap Lake. If one more boat had competed in that race, it would have been a new world record. Josh's great-grandfather would be proud. They named the boat to honor him. He was named Mr. Jigs when he flew bomber runs in World War I for the French. The emblem on his airplane is now on their boat, and a medallion presented to them from the modern version of the squadron is in the cockpit. The medallion flew around the globe 19 times before being passed on to the Harnex from a B-52 crew. The family was happy to join their friends in racing on Soap Lake. After the races were finished and the hydroplanes cleaned up, the families and crews headed home. Most were already talking about how they look forward to returning to Soap Lake.
Hey, we're here at Soap Lake, Washington. Beautiful spot, great venue. Being here is awesome. Crowd's awesome, and the water's great.
For iFIBER 1 News, I'm Bill Stevenson.
Thanks, Bill. Now let's take a look at people currently being sought out by the Grant County Sheriff's Office.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We will be back after this.